Well, the Trump administration has now released 5-year-old Liam Conejo and his father after they were detained on January 20th in Minnesota and sent to a detention facility in Texas. Now, this move comes after a federal judge heard the case and has ordered them to be released. I'll give you his statement and rationale in just a moment. But as a reminder, Liam Conejo Ramos and his father, Adrian Alexander, I should say, Conejo Arias, were returning from Liam's preschool on January 20th when they were confronted by immigration agents. A school board member who witnessed the father's arrest said last week that she heard an adult inside the home pleading with the agents to leave the child rather than detain him with his father. Now, I have more details on this in just a minute, including the lies that were told by DHS in regard to Liam's father and how he got detained. But Cenk, first your 2 cents.
No, all I'm gonna say here is please listen to the details and ask yourself, is this the America we know and love? That's all.
Okay, so DHS spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin, the same person who put out a statement after Renee Good was fatally shot and killed by ICE to say that she was a domestic terrorist, did release a statement about this, saying that ICE did not target or arrest the 5-year-old and that his mother refused to take him following his father's arrest. But the story is way more complicated than that. ICE claimed that his father was abandoning him in order to run away during ICE's attempt to arrest him. That was also a lie. It's not what happened. So according to Liam's mother, who's now speaking out about the incident, her name's Erica Ramos, and she says that after DHS agents arrived at her home and noticed her through the window, they did in fact try to use her 5-year-old son as bait to get her to come outside because they wanted to arrest her as well. She says, quote, "I witnessed the scene from the window and couldn't do anything. Adrian, her husband, begged me repeatedly not to go outside because he was afraid they would arrest me too. They knocked and my son Liam kept saying, 'Mommy, open the door.' I was terrified." She said she didn't open the door out of fear that she too would be arrested and her other child would be left alone. There was another child inside the house. Quote, "When I didn't open the door, they took Liam to the ICE van. It all seemed like an attempt to free me, to provoke me, as if they wanted me to run out desperately for my son so they could arrest me as well. They used my boy as bait. Even so, my husband desperately insisted that I not go out, especially because we have another child and I am pregnant. His only intention was to protect us like any responsible husband and father." And I should, by the way, add that Liam's father, they have an asylum claim. They have been abiding by the rules when you claim asylum. They appear to their court dates. They haven't done anything wrong, right? So the fact that they were targeted is already problematic. Using a 5-year-old for bait is even more problematic. Detaining a 5-year-old and putting him in a detention facility is also insanely problematic. So on Saturday, US District Judge Fred Beery issued a fiery court order demanding the release of the two from ICE custody. Here's what he had to say. "The case has its genesis in the ill-conceived and incompetently implemented government pursuit of daily deportation quotas, apparently even if it requires traumatizing children. Observing human behavior confirms that for some among us, the perfidious lust for unbridled power and the imposition of cruelty in its quest know no bounds and are bereft of human decency, and the rule of law be damned." It's pretty strong wording there.
Yeah, it is, and it should be. I mean, who uses 5-year-olds as bait? Come on.
Untrained ICE officials.
And if people are violating a law outside of coming here undocumented, we all already agree, right? So you kill someone, you rape someone, etc., you gotta go. Everybody agrees. So now we don't agree necessarily on whether there should be mass deportations of people who are here in an undocumented fashion and are not going to court proceedings, or not following the law, etc., right? Can we get agreement on the other one where they are following the law and they do have an asylum hearing coming up and they're just doing exactly what the rules are? But we don't have agreement on that because ICE is grabbing all of them, and sometimes right before their hearings, sometimes they'll go trolling inside the courts to see if they can find anyone who has come to their hearings to follow the law. They're like, oh, that's a mistake. You shouldn't follow our law because if you do, we're gonna arrest you whether you're following it or not. So, and because they think they're lazy, oh, that's an easy place to go meet the quota.
Right.
Stephen Miller demands that we arrest people, right or wrong, and that we have to hit this quota. So why don't we just go pick up the people who are following the legal proceedings, and then we'll dangle their 5-year-old in front of them, and see if we can get more people into our net. This isn't the way we're supposed to operate. This isn't even close. Even look, guys, I get that there's a portion of the MAGA extreme right who loves this stuff and is kind of enjoying this process. Let's be honest about it, right? If you say there are no such people, just go online, right? Like some people get off on the cruelty and it's heartbreaking, but it happens. So I'd like to think, I hope that it's not the majority of Trump voters, and some polling indicates that, right? But for those of you who are genuine and say, hey, you know what? I just can't stand that there's undocumented immigrants here. Can you at least concede that we should follow our own laws? I mean, we're saying we should kick these people out of the country because they're not following the law, except we're not following the law, right? So we take people like this who are in the middle of following the law and go, no, we're gonna break the law and kick you out anyway. Nah, that's not rule of law, and that's why the judge is a little, a little dramatic in his language, which I rather enjoyed. No, he was right to be dramatic.
I like the tone.
Yeah.
Let's chill with the SAT words.
No, I get it. That's what I'm saying. Right?
Bereft.
Yeah. There's a lot of that, but that's okay. That's okay. God bless each to each his own, right? But the most important part of what he said is this is not the rule of law. It's the opposite.
Exactly.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.